Okay, let's unpack this. In today's relentlessly fast-paced world, every organization, I mean, from nascent startups to global giants, is in this frantic race, right? To innovate, deliver value faster, and just, well, stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. It's constant pressure.
But for many, especially as they grow, that journey to true agility, it feels less like a smooth sprint and more like, repeatedly running into a very sturdy brick wall, particularly at scale.
That scaling part is exactly where it gets tricky.
Yeah, we're talking about that monumental challenge of getting hundreds, maybe even thousands of people, all with their diverse teams, conflicting priorities, probably some ingrained habits, all pulling in the same direction, effectively, efficiently.
That's a huge coordination problem.
So today we're embarking on a really fascinating deep dive into this world of scaling lean and agile practices. And more specifically, we're looking at the immensely powerful scaled agile framework, or SAFe.
Yep, safe. It comes up a lot.
Our compass for this exploration is SAFe Explains Succeeding with Lean and Agile at Scale, which is a truly insightful ebook from 2025. And look, this isn't just theory, right?
Not at all. It's very grounded.
It's a meticulously crafted guide grounded in real-world application showing exactly how leading organizations are genuinely making this stuff work and getting, breakthrough results.
That's the key, what actually works in practice.
So our mission today: cut through the technical noise, extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight, and basically give you a shortcut to understanding how some of the world's most complex organizations are truly succeeding with lean and agile at scale.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll explore why traditional agile often falters in these large multi-team settings, how SAFe provides a structured yet flexible answer to these seemingly intractable problems. And then we'll break down its 5 core disciplines, showing you how they integrate to create a truly agile enterprise.
What's genuinely fascinating here, I think, is that the desire for agility that need to be nimble, responsive, innovative, it's almost universal. You see it everywhere.
Everyone wants it.
Exactly. But the complexity of actually achieving that agility in large established organizations, that's precisely where so many get stuck. As the source points out, it's pretty common for organizations to adopt agile labels. They start using terms like Scrum or Sprint.
They put the posters up.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
But they still function in a fundamentally traditional manner, kind of clinging to old mindsets and structures. So this deep dive, it isn't just going to define terms. It's really going to illuminate the why behind that struggle and, maybe more importantly, offer concrete insights into the how SAFe helps organizations overcome it. We'll try and connect these ideas to the bigger picture of organizational change, showing how you can move beyond just talking about agility to actually living it. And that impacts everything, from product development right down to the bottom line.
Absolutely. That distinction between saying you're agile and actually being agile, that's so crucial. So, okay, let's kick things off. Part 1. Why lean and agile in the first place? Why is literally everyone talking about this stuff? What's the core problem they're fundamentally trying to solve? And why has it become such an undeniable business imperative?
Well, something critical to consider here is the stark reality, right?
Yeah.
What happens when organizations don't move quickly? When they fail to innovate?
Yeah, the consequence.
The implications are severe. We're talking lost market share, plummeting competitiveness, maybe an inability to attract top talent, and ultimately stagnation. The source puts it very clearly. All organizations need to move quickly and improve how they innovate to win. It's not really a suggestion anymore.
It's survival.
It's a mandate from the market, basically. And it goes on to emphasize that lean agile practices aren't just trendy, they are proven to work. And it cites some heavy hitters, Harvard Business Review, foundational texts like Lean Thinking, influential analysts like Gartner.
So there's real evidence backing it up.
Definitely. These aren't just theoretical benefits. These practices are shown to demonstrably improve innovation, drastically reduce time to value, and let organizations deliver better products, often at a lower cost.
Better, faster, cheaper. The classic trifecta.
Pretty much. And think about this quote from James Womack and Daniel Jones in the source. It really captures the impact. Adopting lean product development can double labor productivity through the entire system, cut time to market for new products in half, and enable a wider variety of products to be offered at very modest additional cost.
Wow. Double productivity, half time to market. That's not just tweaking things. That's huge.
It's massive.
Yeah.
It's a transformative impact on the bottom line, on market responsiveness, the whole economic viability of an organization. It's about fundamental competitive advantage.
When you put it like that, it's so powerful. So if lean and agile are so demonstrably great, and the benefits are that clear. Why do so many organizations struggle? How often do they think they know what the customer wants, but then they find out they were way off because they couldn't really adopt Agile properly? It seems like it should be a no-brainer.
It's a fantastic question, and it hits on a really common pitfall.
Hmm.
Many organizations want the benefits, but they aren't fully prepared for the profound shift that's actually required.
Mm-hmm.
The ebook highlights this. Many organizations struggle to adopt Agile.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, some have adopted the Agile labels, but still function in a traditional manner. They might do stand-ups, but still have command and control leadership. Or maybe they do sprints, but still have these rigid annual fixed scope projects.
So surface level changes only.
Exactly. The core issue is that achieving the full benefits requires changing how the organization operates, not just the teams, the whole system. And critically, it requires leadership to adopt new behaviors.
Leadership again.
Right.
Always key.
Always. This means leaders setting clear objectives and visions, but then, importantly, stepping back from demanding weighty documentation up front or micromanaging every detail. Instead, empowering their teams. It's not just process tweaks, it's a deep cultural and behavioral shift.
Okay, so that's the gap. That's the struggle.
And this is precisely where SAFe comes into the picture. The source positions it as a robust solution, and it has a proven track record. It's been adopted overwhelmingly by the world's leading organizations.
Like who? Any examples?
Well, the numbers are pretty impressive. Over 2 million trained professionals and adoption by 20,000 plus organizations, including 70 of the Fortune 100.
70 of the Fortune 100. Okay, that's significant.
It really is. And Gartner even named SAFe the #1 most considered and adopted framework for scaling Agile. So it's clearly making a difference, defining a path for success in these incredibly complex environments.
Wow, those numbers are truly staggering. 70 Fortune 100 companies. That tells you something profound about its effectiveness. But what's critical, as you said, is this idea of leadership needing to adopt new behaviors. It's not just about processes. If leadership still operates with that traditional command and control mindset, dictating solutions, well, the benefits just won't materialize, will they?
Exactly. And SAFe provides a structured guide for exactly that kind of transformative change. It allows organizations to, quote, adapt SAFe to suit their specific needs, rather than spending years and often millions trying to invent some unproven operating model from scratch.
Right, why reinvent the wheel?
Precisely. Why do that when there's a proven, flexible framework that's been refined by countless others? It's about getting to execution and delivering value faster, building on a foundation that's already shown its worth in some really tough corporate environments. This ability to adapt a proven model rather than starting from zero is a huge accelerator for change. It reduces risk dramatically.
And the ebook really lays out specific problems, almost like a diagnostic checklist, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It makes it clear why SAFe is so compelling and asks these pointed questions like, are you experiencing some of these problems? Let's dig into those common pain points SAFe addresses, because I bet a lot of our listeners will recognize them immediately.
Okay, let's do it.
First one, we keep failing at Agile. It says many large organizations struggle with scaling because they lack a structured approach, and SAFe offers a clear, repeatable path to success. That sounds like it addresses the chaos right away.
It does. It provides that structure. And a key takeaway here for listeners might be, are you truly quantifying the impact of your efforts? Because the source highlights a second common problem. We struggle to quantify the benefits of our Agile implementation.
The measurement challenge.
Yep. Many organizations invest heavily, but then can't definitively show the ROI. SAFe is not just a theory here. It's been put into practice in hugely complex places, specifically to drive measurable business outcomes. It's about more than just doing Agile. It's about achieving tangible business results with Agile.
That makes perfect sense. If you can't measure it, how do you know it's working or worth the investment? What's the third pain point mentioned?
The third is a common misconception. Our organization thinks frameworks are too rigid. People hear framework and think straitjacket.
Right, like it stifles creativity.
But the source emphasizes that SAFe is actually flexible. It's designed to be tailored to specific contexts. And crucially, it continuously evolves. It incorporates the latest best practices and lessons learned from its huge community. So it's not some one-size-fits-all dogma you just follow blindly. It's a living framework designed to be adapted.
That adaptability is key, isn't it? Because every company is different.
Absolutely. A truly rigid framework would quickly become a barrier, not an enabler. And beyond solving these specific problems, the overall benefits of SAFe are pretty profound. Enhanced efficiency, boosted employee morale, which is huge, reduced costs, faster time to market, and significant improvements in revenue and quality.
Okay, let's just step back for a moment and make sure we're crystal clear on our terms. The ebook stresses this. Understanding the fundamentals is crucial before we even talk about scaling. So we need to ground ourselves. What exactly is lean and what is agile?
Good idea. Foundational stuff.
The source gives a great core definition, paraphrasing Rupp and Nasser et al. Lean focuses on delivering maximum value with minimal waste, while Agile ensures adaptability and responsiveness to change. Together, they create a system that continuously improves, learns, and delivers customer value efficiently. That sounds like a powerful combo: efficiency and adaptability.
It really is. They complement each other beautifully.
So let's start with lean thinking, optimizing for value flow. It famously started in manufacturing, Toyota, right? How does that apply to something like product development? It seems like a bit of a leap from making cars to, say, writing software.
It's an excellent point, and you're right, lean began in manufacturing, but its principles are remarkably universal. The core goal of lean thinking, adapted for product development, is to deliver maximum value to the customer in the shortest sustainable lead time.
Shortest sustainable lead time. Okay.
From the initial spark of an idea all the way to that customer actually getting the value. But it's not just about speed. It also includes critical things like high quality, respect for people and society, high morale, safety, and customer delight. It's holistic.
So broader than just efficiency.
Much broader. And to achieve these goals, lean thinking is built on 5 core principles.
Okay, what are those 5? And maybe for listeners starting out, which one do you think is typically the hardest to genuinely nail in a large organization?
Ooh, good question. It often varies, but I'd probably argue the third principle, make value flow without interruptions, is often profoundly challenging. It exposes all those ingrained silos, power structures, legacy ways of working.
Ah, the hidden friction points.
Exactly. But let's go through them in order. The first principle is to precisely specify value by specific product. The source emphasizes value is meaningful only when tied to a specific product that satisfies the customer's needs. And critically, only the ultimate customer can define that value.
Only the customer. That's a big shift for some places.
Huge shift. It means we stop building what we think is valuable and instead focus intensely on what the customer genuinely finds valuable, what problems it solves for them. It's about not wasting effort on features that, however clever they seem internally, don't serve a real customer need.
That makes perfect sense. Laser focus on what the customer actually wants, avoids building shelfware. So once you've defined that value, what's next?
Precisely. The second principle, identify the value stream for each product. This describes the entire journey, how an organization creates value, from identifying a need or opportunity to delivering the solution. Soup to nuts.
The whole end-to-end flow.
Everything. All the people, processes, tools, information involved. Think about a coffee shop. It's not just brewing the coffee. It's sourcing beans, the barista making it, the customer getting that first sip, every step.
Okay.
And the critical insight here is that delays anywhere in this system result in delayed delivery of value. If the bean supplier is slow or the barista is swamped, the customer waits, value diminishes. So understanding this entire flow, every single step and handoff is paramount.
That's a powerful visualization. If you can see the whole journey, then naturally the next step is to make it run smoothly, right? No bumps, no detours.
Exactly. And that brings us to the third principle, which, as I said, is often the toughest, but also incredibly impactful. Make value flow without interruptions. This is absolutely critical for incremental delivery and getting that constant feedback.
How do you achieve that smooth flow?
Well, the source says achieving this requires understanding 8 fundamental properties of flow. Now, don't let that list sound too intimidating. Many are things we intuitively grasp.
Okay, let's hear them.
Think about visualizing and limiting work in process, WIP. If your desk is buried under 10 half-finished tasks, you know that feeling, right? Busy, but not productive.
Totally. Overwhelmed.
Then there's addressing bottlenecks, that one person or system that always slows things down. And minimizing handoffs and dependencies, that endless game of broken telephone where work gets passed around, losing context, creating frustrating delays. A lot of time just bleeds away there.
Oh, yeah. The handoff problem is huge.
It really is. Then we have getting fast feedback, working in small batches, delivering features incrementally, not one giant release, managing queue lengths because long queues hide problems, and optimizing time in the zone.
Time in the zone, like focus time.
Exactly. It's not just focus. It's ruthlessly eliminating interruptions. Many organizations inadvertently break this zone with constant meetings, pings, context switching. It kills productivity. A 30-minute meeting might not just take 30 minutes. It can destroy hours of zone time for multiple people because context switching is such a hidden killer.
That's a really insightful point, the hidden cost of interruptions.
And finally, it involves remediating legacy policies and practices actively removing those bureaucratic hurdles that slow everything down. It's all about relentlessly focusing on what matters to the customer and removing every single impediment.
Those 8 properties are incredibly practical, almost a diagnostic checklist for friction. What's next after optimizing flow?
The fourth principle, let the customer pull value from the producer. This means designing your value streams based on actual real-time customer demand, not just internal speculation or guesses.
So demand-driven, not push.
Exactly. Match capacity closely with market pull
Yeah.
to avoid waste, either building things no one wants or leaving customers waiting.
Yeah.
It's about being truly responsive, almost like a just-in-time system for value.
Okay, and the 5th and final principle of Lynn.
Pursue perfection. Simple but profound. Optimizing value flow is a continuous journey, not a destination.
Never done improving.
Never. Continuous refinement is essential because the market keeps shifting, customer needs evolve, new tech emerges. Even when you nail the other 4 principles, the world changes. So you have to keep adapting and improving. There's always a better way, always ways to eliminate. It's an ongoing commitment to excellence.
So Lean gives us this incredible blueprint for how to build efficiently, eliminate waste, focus relentlessly on customer value. But what happens when that definition of value changes midstream? What if the market shifts dramatically or a competitor launches something unexpected? That's where just following a perfect blueprint isn't enough, right? You need agility.
Exactly. You need the ability to adapt.
And that brings us to Agile, which, as we said, often gets confused with just sprints or Scrum. But it's much more fundamental, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a critical distinction. Alistair Cockburn, one of the original Agile Manifesto signatories, reminds us Agile is an attitude, not a technique with boundaries. It's about a fundamental mindset shift.
An attitude. I like that.
Yeah, it's about how its principles and values can maximize effectiveness in any context. It emphasizes collaborating closely with customers, not just at the start or end, but throughout an iterative development, delivering small increments of value frequently. It's a profound shift away from rigid long-term plans towards constant adaptation and learning in short cycles.
And the famous manifesto for Agile software development lays out the core values. These aren't just buzzwords, are they? They're guiding principles.
They really are foundational. There are 4 key values.
Mm-hmm.
First, individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Processes and tools have value, sure, but they should serve people and make collaboration easier. If a process hinders teams, adapt it. Tools support interaction. They don't replace it. Human connection is paramount.
People first.
Makes sense. Second, working software over comprehensive documentation. The focus is on tangible, shippable stuff that delivers actual value and allows for fast, concrete feedback. Not getting bogged down in excessive speculative documents that might be outdated before they're even finished. Demonstrate progress through functionality.
Sure, don't just tell.
Third, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Ongoing, continuous collaboration with customers is crucial because they define value and their needs change. Contracts define relationships, yes, but shouldn't hinder flexibility or trust. Aim for win-win partnerships built on shared goals.
Partnership, not just vendor-client.
Exactly. And fourth, maybe the most transformative, responding to change over following a plan. Change isn't a disruption or failure. It drives agility. Plans are guides, but they must adapt as understanding evolves. Rigidly sticking to an outdated plan, the source points out, almost inevitably leads to inefficiency and missed opportunities. This value reframes change not as a threat, but as a competitive advantage.
Embrace the change. That's a powerful shift. It really challenges how many traditional organizations operate. What about the teams themselves in an agile environment? How are they structured? Empowered?
Well, Agile teams are fundamentally empowered. They're self-managing. They decide how they'll achieve their goals, which fosters creativity and ownership. They embrace change, actively adapting as part of their work. And critically, they have regular, short planning and review cycles iterations to ensure alignment and responsiveness. Keeps the whole thing dynamic and customer-focused.
So it really comes down to trust and autonomy for the teams.
A huge part of it, yes. Which raises that important question. Are your current processes truly empowering people, or are they creating bottlenecks? The Agile Manifesto values are about shifting priorities. Responding to change over following a plan is especially powerful because it treats change as a capability, crucial for modern product development, where things pivot overnight. Continuous learning based on real feedback is key.
Okay, so we got lean, optimizing value, eliminating waste. We've got agile, embracing adaptability, collaboration. Sounds like a dream team for a small group. But here's where it gets really interesting, and often, let's be honest, incredibly messy. How do you take those elegant principles and apply them to a massive organization? Hundreds, thousands of people, all with their own priorities, dependencies, politics. That's where that beautiful simplicity can just descend into chaos without some kind of orchestrator, right?
Absolutely. And a really striking point from the source is how these challenges don't just disappear, they naturally emerge and get amplified as complexity grows. Without a framework like SAFe, these become huge roadblocks. Turns that smooth flow of value into like a series of frustrating traffic jams.
Traffic jams, good analogy.
Think about coordinating work and dependencies across multiple teams that quickly becomes a logistical nightmare. Without a common rhythm, shared understanding, clear communication. SAFe essentially provides the operating model for solving these complex multi-team problems. It ensures that while individual teams are agile and autonomous, they're also aligned and synchronized toward bigger goals.
So bringing order to the potential chaos of scaling.
Exactly. The source notes Agile was initially designed for small, cross-functional, co-located teams, and it worked brilliantly there. But implementing Agile successfully in a large organization presents a whole new set of challenges. When you scale to multiple teams, complex products, maybe hundreds or thousands of people, including suppliers, big concerns pop up.
Like what kind of concerns?
Things like aligning strategy and execution across the whole enterprise, prioritizing initiatives when everyone thinks their project is #1, reducing risk through incremental funding, not huge upfront bets, coordinating work and dependencies across scores of teams, synchronizing planning and releases so it all comes together, and scaling Agile beyond just IT to the whole organization, marketing, finance, everyone. These can sink you if you don't address them systematically.
Okay, so if these challenges are so inherent to scaling, how does SAFe actually tackle them? What's its unique advantage? How does it bridge that gap from small teams to massive enterprises?
The real elegance of SAFe, I think, is its holistic approach. It exists to help organizations build winning products by providing this knowledge base of the most effective, proven product development practices. It offers a comprehensive operating model for implementing lean, agile practices across large organizations. Basically, it guides businesses and their people to grow their skills, to learn to sense and respond to change faster, which is the ultimate competitive edge today.
How does it structure things to achieve that?
Well, a key advantage is how SAFe structures agile teams and, crucially, teams of agile teams. These are known as Agile Release Trains, or RTs.
Agile release trains. RTs, okay.
Yeah, and they're aligned around specific products and common goals. This alignment is intentional, designed to maximize customer value while minimizing waste. It prevents that frustrating situation where teams are doing great agile work in isolation, but maybe not on the right things or not in a coordinated way.
So it channels all that agile energy, making sure it's focused and synchronized.
Precisely. Another key aspect is establishing a regular rhythm for planning and execution. This is like the heartbeat of the whole system. It synchronizes everyone's efforts, maintains alignment with the business strategy, and enables work to progress in a flexible, coordinated, and predictable manner.
Predictable. That sounds almost counter to agile sometimes.
Counterintuitively, no. This predictability is often what unlocks true innovation. Because teams aren't constantly guessing about dependencies or priorities, they have a stable platform to work from.
Ah, predictability enables, doesn't constrain.
Exactly. And both Lean and Agile deeply emphasize measurement. SAFe leverages key metrics to track progress, quality, and performance, allowing for data-driven decisions, not just gut feelings. And critically, it cultivates a strong leadership culture where leaders are active enablers, creating an environment for experimentation, ongoing learning, and cross-team cooperation. The SAFe big picture graphic, which the source mentions, visually shows how all these pieces fit together.
So it's a system, not just a collection of practices.
It's a whole operating system for agility at scale. Zooming out, the implication for you, the listener, is that SAFe aims to create a predictable flow of value in what's often an inherently unpredictable environment. That regular rhythm is crucial. It's not about stifling creativity, but channeling it effectively. Like a synchronized swimming team, everyone knows their role, the goal, allowing them to adapt to the music in real time. This predictability fosters innovation.
That synchronized swimming analogy is perfect. Everyone knows their part, but they're also adapting. Now, SAFE isn't just one big blob, right? It's organized. The ebook introduces 5 critical disciplines that form the backbone. These 5 disciplines describe the knowledge, skills, and techniques required to achieve mastery. Let's just list them quickly before we dive in. Leadership and culture,
The foundation,
team and technical agility,
where the work gets done.
product development flow,
Getting the right stuff out smoothly.
large solution integration and delivery,
For the really big, complex stuff,
and lean portfolio management.
connecting strategy to execution. And something critical to consider here is, which of these areas do you think your organization struggles with most? Because these disciplines aren't just silos you tackle independently, they are profoundly interconnected. For instance, without strong leadership and culture, even the best team and technical agility practices will just flounder.
They all support each other.
Totally. They provide a comprehensive roadmap for transforming an entire enterprise, addressing all the different layers, from the exec suite right down to the individual team member.
Okay, part 3. Practicing SAFE. Let's dive into that first discipline, leadership and culture. Because as the ebook really stresses, cultural change starts at the top. Leaders make or break these transformations. The source says explicitly, an organization's leaders are responsible for adopting and improving lean agile development. They have the authority to change and improve the systems, and crucially, they create an environment that encourages high-performing agile teams to flourish.
It's not just passive support, is it?
Not at all. It's active, visible sponsorship, and modeling the way. What I find particularly insightful here is the emphasis on good social circuitry. This highlights that culture isn't just soft stuff, it's critical infrastructure for problem solving and innovation.
Good social circuitry, like the wiring of the organization. Exactly. Leaders aren't just delegators, they are architects of an environment where agility can actually thrive. Gene Kim puts it beautifully in the source. Leaders must wire their organizations to create conditions where people can solve problems well. By creating and sustaining good social circuitry, individual contributions can combine into a collective effort. It is the leader's responsibility. It's about building the roads and power lines for productive work.
You know, when you talk about good social circuitry, it links back to that agile value.
Why?
Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. It's like leaders are the electricians ensuring communication flows. What happens when that circuitry is faulty, even with great processes on paper?
Fantastic observation. When that circuitry is faulty, you see communication breakdowns, silos harden, decisions made in isolation. Even with a perfect agile process documented, if leaders aren't actively fostering trust, open dialogue, a safe space, teams revert to old behaviors. Hoarding info, blaming, avoiding risk. The system fights the process.
So the wiring has to be right.
It has to be. And how do leaders do this? The source outlines 4 fundamental behavior patterns. First, leading by example. Actions align with words. Credibility comes from authenticity, consistency, visible commitment to growth. You can't ask teams to be agile if you aren't adaptable yourself.
Walk the talk.
Precisely. Second, growing leaders. Trust-based leadership, empowering others through clear intent and coaching, not micromanagement. Developing the next generation. Third, leading change. Inspire change, articulate a clear vision, mobilize teams, and actively remove obstacles. And fourth, adapting and innovating. Create an environment where challenging the status quo, experimenting, continuous improvement are encouraged, not punished.
So it's about vision, authenticity, growth, courage.
Absolutely. And the point that cultural change follows demonstrated success, not precedes it, is powerful. You need to show the new way works, build that track record before people truly embrace it. Culture, as Dr. Ron Westrom's generative culture describes it, fosters teamwork, open communication, shared focus, trust, transparency, a learning mindset. This change is gradual. It follows success.
Okay, once leadership sets that stage, fosters that generative culture, it's all about empowering the teams. This brings us to discipline 2, team and technical agility. How to make those cross-functional teams truly effective and build quality in. The source says this describes how to enable teams to accelerate value delivery and highlights the critical skills, roles, and practices for high-performing teams and arts to create high-quality products. It emphasizes building quality into everything they deliver because inspection often comes too late. That's crucial, right? Quality isn't an afterthought. Absolutely critical. The Agile Manifesto itself says continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. This section really gets into the how at the team level. The idea of ARTs, Agile Release Trains, is central. Larger solutions just can't be built by isolated teams.
Right, you need coordination. Exactly. And the PI planning event is a prime example. Imagine all those teams aligning to a shared mission instead of discovering dependencies way too late. And the emphasis on built-in quality and the architectural runway. It's about prevention, not cure. Investing in the foundations for future speed.
So let's talk about that structure, the Agile Release Train, the RT. When are they needed? What do they look like?
RTs are needed when a product is too large for a single team to deliver value. Think complex enterprise apps, vehicle infotainment, large e-commerce platforms. Way too big for one small team. An RT aligns multiple teams to a shared vision and roadmap, typically 50, 125 people.
50 to 125. Okay, that's a significant group.
Yeah, and they're designed to be cross-functional. They have all the capabilities needed: define, build, validate, release, operate end-to-end. Minimizes handoffs.
Who leads an RT?
There are critical leadership roles.
Uh,
Product management defines what needs to be built: desirable, feasible, viable, sustainable products. A system architect defines the overall architecture, non-functional requirements, major elements. Then there's the release train engineer, RTE. A servant leader, RT coach, facilitates events, empowers teams, removes obstacles.
the conductor of the train, maybe?
Kind of, yeah. A servant leader conductor. And finally, business owners are key stakeholders, responsible for fitness for use, governance, and return on investment, ROI. They provide the business guidance.
And what about the rhythm of these RTs? How do they plan and execute to maintain that synchronization? It sounds very structured, like PI planning is the heartbeat, like the ultimate team huddle, but on a massive scale.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic way to visualize it. Super high energy. The heartbeat is the planning interval, PI, fixed time boxes, usually 8-12 weeks, including an innovation and planning IP, iteration for exploration. The most critical event is PI planning.
What happens there?
It's typically a 2-day event, physically or virtually, where all RT teams come together. They align to a shared mission, create a plan for committed PI objectives. Imagine the energy, all teams aligning, identifying dependencies, building a collective plan. It builds understanding and commitment. You just can't get through emails.
That sounds incredibly powerful for alignment.
It is. Then there's the system demo, each iteration or PI, showcasing integrated work from all teams for feedback. It's a live demo, not PowerPoint. Finally, the Inspect and Adapt INA event at the end of the PI, evaluate the product, reflect on processes, identify improvements through structured problem solving. Plus, supporting events like Coach and PO Syncs and that IP iteration for learning.
Sounds like a finely tuned machine. Constant feedback, alignment. So those are the ARTs, the teams of teams. What about the individual Agile teams, the building blocks?
Right, the foundational units. They're cross-functional groups of 10 or fewer individuals who can define, build, test, and deploy an increment of value in a short time box. Self-organizing, empowered. Most use either Safe Scrum for structured iteration or Safe Team Kanban to visualize flow, limit WIP, measure throughput, whatever fits best.
And the roles within a team.
Each team has clear roles. A product owner, PO, the content authority for the backlog, defines, accepts stories. Agile team members collaborate to define, build, test, release, shared responsibility. And a Scrum Master, SM, servant leader, Agile coach, facilitator, removes obstacles, guides the team.
And their daily rhythm, their internal cadence.
Managed through team events, often within a 2-week iteration. Start with iteration planning, select backlog item, define goals, maybe a daily sync. Then iteration review, inspect the increment, demo it, update the backlog. And finally, iteration retrospective, reflect, assess practices, identify improvements for the next cycle. Those short, fast feedback loops are vital.
Okay, delivery focused.
Yeah.
But how do they ensure technical quality is built in, not bolted on, and enable continuous delivery?
That's where technical agility practices are essential. The RT builds or shares a continuous delivery pipeline, CDP. This lets teams deliver new functionality as needed, daily, multiple times a day, weekly, monthly, whatever the market demands. Radically accelerates idea to customer.
Faster feedback, faster value.
Exactly. They also build an architectural runway. This is existing code, components, infrastructure needed to implement near-term features with minimal redesign and delay.
Like building a good foundation for a house before decorating.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
You need that robust structure to add new features quickly later without tearing down walls every time. It's an investment in future speed and flexibility.
Makes sense. What else?
A DevOps mindset fosters communication, integration, and automation across all system development and operations stages, bridging that old dev versus ops gap. And Built-in quality isn't just nice to have, it's a set of practices ensuring outputs consistently meet appropriate quality standards from the start. Prevents costly rework later. Integrates quality from day one.
With empowered teams and RTs humming along, how do we ensure they're building the right thing, something truly valuable, and getting it to customers quickly? That's discipline 3, product development flow. This enables organizations to smoothly release valuable product increments and respond swiftly to market changes. It emphasizes product innovation, value flow, continual delivery, and customer-centric practices. Roman Pichler is quoted, "Building a successful product is not about delivering features, it's about creating value." That's a crucial distinction, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It shifts the focus entirely. Connecting this to the bigger picture, product development flow ensures all that actual energy is directed towards what customers truly need and value. That shift from building features to strategically creating value is fundamental. And integrating rapid customer feedback and product data is essential for true agility, ensuring products evolve with market needs, not just an internal plan.
So how do you achieve that flow? What are the key concepts?
It starts with a clear product vision aligning teams, backed by a flexible strategy or roadmap that can adapt. Central is customer-centric design, using design thinking to understand the customer experience and solve their problems. Then, continuous delivery streamlined process, concept to market, supported by effective product marketing highlighting value. And vital, robust feedback systems for rapid customer input and usage data, driving collaboration and innovation.
And the outcomes.
Rapid delivery of business value, customer satisfaction, loyalty, competitive advantage, and a learning culture fostering experimentation and rapid iteration.
Now let's imagine an even bigger scale. Building something like a defense system, a satellite network, an autonomous vehicle system. These aren't just large products, they're large solutions requiring immense coordination. That's discipline 4, large solution integration and delivery, LSID, taking it to monumental proportions.
Yeah, this is where SAFe scales its principle to tackle problems of truly staggering complexity. Things traditional methods would likely buckle under. Think about strict regulatory and compliance requirements with thousands of engineers. Coordination, built-in quality, traceability become non-negotiable. LSID shows even the most complex endeavors benefit from iterative, lean agile approaches, rather than brittle, big bang methods that can't adapt.
So LSID applies safe to these complex systems.
Exactly. Developing, operating, evolving complex software, hardware, cyber-physical systems. These large solutions often need many value streams and RTs aligned, involving hundreds or even thousands of engineers. Mike Cohn captures it. Building large software solutions is not just about writing code, it's about orchestrating a complex ecosystem, all while embracing the constant flux, its grand choreography.
What makes these large solutions so uniquely challenging, beyond just scale?
Several hurdles. Strict regulatory compliance needs, crafting user journeys spanning multiple products lines, diverse engineering disciplines, software, electrical, mechanical, integrating hardware with long lead times where one delay cascades.
How is it structured organizationally?
Large value streams comprising multiple solution trains, RTs, teams, and suppliers. They can be nested, with a parent value stream providing a unified vision, roadmap, and solution intent. Shared PI cadence ensures sync. Internal customers exist in nested streams. Leadership roles require even more intentional connection and clear communication due to the high stakes. Traditional approaches just struggle to keep up and miss opportunities to innovate because they're too rigid.
All right, we've covered teams, AFARs, even solutions of solutions, but how do organizations ensure all this incredible work aligns with the overall business strategy, making sure they're building the right things enterprise-wide? That's discipline 5, lean portfolio management.
And this raises that crucial question. How well do your organization's strategy and execution truly align? Jeffrey Moore's quote about executives talking at cross purposes because nobody agrees on vision and strategy. It hits home, right?
Oh, absolutely. Seen that movie before.
LPM is about funding value streams, not individual projects, and then continuously validating those investments with a lean startup approach. The ability to pivot based on facts, not outdated plans, is the essence of strategic agility here. It builds the capability for the organization itself to learn and adapt at the highest levels.
So it tackles that disconnect.
Exactly. The source argues powerfully that traditional approaches to portfolio management were not designed for today's speed. Those old ways, fixed budgets, annual reviews can't keep up. LPM is critical to adopting a holistic, lean, agile way of working and achieving the strategic agility required to compete. Its core purpose is aligning strategy and execution using lean thinking for strategy and investment funding, agile portfolio operations, and governance.
So how does lean portfolio management actually do this? What are the key elements? It starts with portfolio leadership. They formulate and communicate the strategy, maintain the portfolio vision and roadmap. The portfolio is organized around a collection of value streams. Crucially, the portfolio budget is allocated directly to these value streams, not traditional project funding.
Funding streams, not projects. That's a big shift.
Huge shift. Provides immense flexibility. Funds can move within a stream to the highest priority work, not locked into rigid project budgets. Epics describe strategic initiatives, crossing IRT streams. They're guided by Epic owners through the portfolio Kanban system for transparency and flow management.
Kanban at the portfolio level.
Yep. And a lean startup approach ensures a minimum viable product, MVP, is tested before full commitment. Fail fast, learn quicker. There are startup P points in the Kanban for initiatives that don't prove viable.
So you don't waste huge amounts on bad bets. Exactly. The Value Management Office, VMO, handles governance and operations, reporting insights. The enterprise architect sets the portfolio's technology, vision, and roadmap. And LPM processes encourage learning and feedback, facilitate strategic agility, measure performance against OKRs and KPIs. Strategy adjusts, pivots if needed, based on actual results.
Okay, part 4. Implementing SAFe and the future. If this all sounds compelling, where do you even begin? Transformations are notoriously hard, high failure rates. How does SAFe provide a clear path? The implementation roadmap.
This section really emphasizes that SAFe isn't rigid dogma. The 13 critical moves in the roadmap offer a proven path, but your context dictates the specifics. Adaptability is key, and the guidance on starting points is valuable. You don't have to boil the ocean. Find the lever with the most immediate benefit, build momentum.
Because trying to do everything at once is a recipe for disaster.
Totally. The source states a stark truth. Up to 70% of large-scale change initiatives fail. Staggering, right? Factors include no clear business case, poor leadership engagement, unclear goals or why, slow decisions, pursuing big bang change instead of iterative learning. Chip and Dan Heath say, any successful change requires a translation of ambiguous goals into concrete behaviors. Script the critical moves.
So SAFe provides that script, boosting success odds.
Exactly. The SAFe implementation roadmap is a step-by-step guide with 13 critical moves based on the experiences of hundreds of organizations. Empirically derived, pragmatic, it dramatically reduces the risk of failure. But customization is key, based on your agile maturity and tolerance for change.
What are some starting points it suggests?
If you're new to Agile or want gradual adoption, start with teams and RTs. Build team and technical agility. If you need rapid market response, focus immediately on product development flow, innovation, early delivery. If facing alignment challenges at the top, start with lean portfolio management, connect strategy to execution, maybe work with an experienced SAFe partner to chart your specific path.
Makes sense. Tailor the approach. Now, there's always chatter, right? Social media, forums, Agile is dead, SAFe is too rigid. But the ebook has a strong counter-argument about the enduring relevance of Agile and SAFe.
And this raises that important question. Are you falling for buzzword bingo and sensational headlines, or truly embracing the spirit of agility? The source is clear. Claims Agile is dead are sensationalized and misguided. Agile, far from dying, continues to evolve and thrive.
How is it evolving?
It's integrating AI, machine learning, expanding beyond software into diverse business functions, HR, marketing, ops. Its core principles, adaptability, collaboration, customer focus, remain indispensable.
What does the data say?
The 2024 State of Agile report underscores its enduring value, shows increased satisfaction and adoption across industries, with only a few desire to return to traditional delivery methods. That's powerful validation from practitioners.
So, if Agile is thriving, how do organizations overcome common challenges and ensure genuine adoption, not just lip service?
The source identifies key ways. First, break free from strict compliance. Agile is a mindset, not rigid rules. Adapt practices, empower teams. Second, go beyond the buzzwords. Commit genuinely. A sense of practices are truly agile in spirit, foster transparency, experimentation, continuous improvement. The biggest obstacle isn't process. It's the unwillingness to question, experiment, adapt, and evolve. It's a leadership and cultural challenge.
And organizations aren't alone in this.
Definitely not. SAFe has a huge global community, over 400 partners in 50-plus countries. 2 million SAFe-trained professionals in 110-plus countries. A vast network for support and expertise.
Okay, so to wrap up our journey through SAFe Explained, what's the ultimate takeaway about SAFe for organizations looking to scale their agility?
The ebook concludes by reiterating that safe implementation demands continuous improvement and adaptation. It's not a one-time install, it's an ongoing journey. Yes, there can be resistance to lean agile principles and cultural shifts. That's natural with big change. But the rewards, faster time to market, better quality, higher productivity, and greater employee engagement make it worthwhile.
Worth the effort.
Absolutely. It requires a long-term commitment to change, learning, and adjustment. Ultimately, its goal is clear: foster collaboration, alignment, and adaptability to help organizations meet market demands and achieve business goals efficiently in our complex world.
Wow, what a deep dive into the scaled Agile framework. We've covered so much ground. From the fundamental principles of Lean and Agile, why scaling them is so tough, and then breaking down SAFE's 5 core disciplines: leadership and culture, team and technical agility, product development flow, large solution integration, right up to lean portfolio management. It's really clear SAFE isn't just another framework. It's a comprehensive, proven operating model for large, complex organizations to achieve true agility, enterprise-wide.
It really aims for that holistic transformation.
And the insights from SAFE Explained highlight that success isn't just about tools or processes, it's that fundamental mindset shift, driven by leadership, embraced by teams, and continuously refined through feedback and learning.
Couldn't agree more. And connecting this to the bigger picture, this deep dive should make us all reflect on that continuous journey of improvement, not just for huge companies, but in our own work. So for you, our listener, here's a thought to maybe mull over. What legacy practices or ingrained habits might you need to question, experiment with, and ultimately evolve beyond in your own work or organization, no matter its size?
That's a great question.
How can you apply these principles of value flow and continuous feedback, even at a micro level, to create more value and reduce waste in your own sphere, starting today?
That's a powerful challenge to leave you with, one that really resonates with that core Lean Agile thinking. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep innovating.